Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV. We are still in Zurich. Denver Gold Forum is over, but we are now at the Osisko Group dinner, and we want to talk now for the first time to Mathieu Savard, who is the president of Osisko Mining. Welcome, Mathieu. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fantastic that we can talk because it's quite a while. When I interviewed Osisko Mining, I think 2-3 years ago, but I must say a lot of good things happened with your company. And I just saw also that you guys connected the hydropower line, 85 kilometers with a 69,000 kilowatt, 69,000 volt line, which is fantastic, isn't it?
It is fantastic. We achieved that last January. And what it does, it reduces, of course, the greenhouse gas, but it was done through a First Nation corporation. So it's one of the first time in Canada that has been done. The power line is owned, operate, and has been financed through a First Nation corporation.
Wow.
And of course, it aligns interests with respect to social acceptability for the Windfall project.
Yeah, I could imagine that because it, I would say, sorts out a lot of problems. Sometimes you could have First Nations, but you are partners, and so everybody is benefiting, so you have a win-win situation.
Absolutely. On top of it, it's clean energy because it's hydropower. And people might not realize, but right now in Quebec, because of the cheap cost of power, there's a shortage because of the high demand on energy. So to get first the energy block secured and then the power line, it's quite a milestone for the project.
Fantastic. So you can use that now for the camp already. And I think you are also bringing down the ramp into the underground, right?
We do have an exploration ramp on which we perform 3 bulk sample. We are also on the process of performing a 4th bulk sample. And of course, the power is also used for the underground development. So on top of it, the purpose for those bulk sample is basically to compare the resource estimation model to reality, which we did 3 times successfully. We basically achieved positive reconciliation of the 3 bulk sample, 126%, 189%, and 165%, which is tremendous, which should show up once in production. We expect to have higher grade than what we see in the number from the feasibility study.
Okay, super. You have on the project level Goldfields as a 50/50 partner, and I think that deal secured you also really tremendous amount of money. So for me, it looks like that you are on the fast highway to production.
Yeah, that's correct. Last May, we concluded a 50/50 agreement with Goldfields, for which they pay us $634 million in 2 payments. So we already received $334 million. We'll receive the second tranche of the $300 million on permit delivery, probably expecting first quarter of 2025.
Oh, that's fast.
And what it does, you're exactly right. We are fully financed for our 50% portion of the build. So basically, that's a huge milestone as well because it de-risks significantly the company on that front.
Yeah, and of course, you will not have any future dilution now.
That's the idea.
Important for the shareholders, I would say.
That's the idea.
Yeah. Okay, then your path to production, can you describe this a little bit more in detail? When do you think production could start? What is still missing or not missing, or maybe things are going better than expected?
Yeah, so right now we are in the middle of the permitting process. We expect to receive permits by probably first quarter of 25. That will allow us to start this construction in the second quarter of 2025. And that should lead us to first gold pour second half of 2026. So it's really fast happening. In terms of production profile, we expect to produce for the full Windfall project 300,000 ounces a year. But there's some upside there because, as I mentioned, regarding the positive reconciliation. So right now, these numbers stands for 3,400 tons a day operation. The grade, the average head grade right now is 8.1 gram for the reserve component. But if you believe that we'll be successful in increasing the grade because of what we've seen in the bulk samples, probably 1 gram in excess, for example, will produce 40,000 ounces in excess per year. Of course, we'll have 50% out of it. So we should end up being a producer between 150 and 200,000 ounces a year.
For your share.
For our share. And of course, we expect to have a re-rate based on that once in production.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you say something to the anticipated AISC? Just roughly. I know forward-looking statement, but where do you see your production costs?
The AISC was in the fees was $760 US, which was on the low end.
That's really
and
low.
If the project produce what we expected to produce, it should get the cost of production down. And today's gold price, the margin will be quite significant.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that that's almost $1,600 margin then, pre-tax.
Yeah, that's quite amazing.
It is really amazing. What are we gonna do with all that money?
I mean, that's a good question, but the deal that as we structure it gave us a lot of optionality. We could grow organically the Windfall Mining Group, on which the Windfall asset is right now, or we could buy back shares, as simple as that, or we could do nothing as well, or we could grow a Cisco component, but we'll have a lot of optionality, and that's what's important to realize.
Yeah, super. Also, let's talk about some other upside. What else could we expect from your company? I think you have also that 70% earn-in with Bonterra. Is that something for the future which might also,
So that's something we were looking at for the exploration ground perspective. We signed the earn-in agreement last December, and basically what it does is we could acquire up to 70% of the ground, 600 claims roughly south of Windfall, but it's actually in the extension of the deposit along of the major fall hosting the deposit. And when we did the due diligence, we realized that the same geology, the same type of mineralization were highlighted there. So right now we got 5 rigs turning in that area, and it could be quite successful, but we don't know yet. We just started in early January, but so far we're happy with the type of rock and the geology. But as you know, it takes sometimes a few months to have a clearer view on what it is. And of course that we should earn in over the next 3 years. It's 30 million that we need to spend in exploration expenditures for the next 3 years.
And you have the money.
We do have the money.
Yeah, super fantastic. Especially when you really can start 2026 production. I mean, then you have a constant cash flow.
Yeah.
So it might be a second mine.
I mean, we don't believe.
To speculate a bit.
We don't believe, all things being equal, for what we know, and these mines are located in volcanic belts, 3 million years old roughly, and they never come alone. So we don't believe Windfall is a singularity. In fact, that would be quite suspicious if it was. And of course, we believe that over time it's going to become a mining district, and Windfall is probably just the first one to come to light.
Fantastic. That's a super final statement. Thank you very much for your time. And my feeling is you did everything right. You have the money to execute, and in 2 years you're on production.
Absolutely.
I like the game plan.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mathieu.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mathieu Savard, the president of Osisko Mining, and you heard it. Things are in perfect shape. Sometimes you hear, okay, they've given up 50% of the project, but I think it was the absolutely wise decision in this type of market, what they have been in, and now they are fully financed. They have excess capital. They can do much more around it, and as he said, first windfall, there may be second, third, or fourth windfall. We will see in the future, but this is exactly the upside we want to see. And honestly, in approximately 2 years, they will be in production, making money, making cash flow. And you heard it, $760 per ounce, maybe less. That is a real fantastic AISC. So you should check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Zurich.